So an Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and a 26 mile run. An Ultraman is double the distance.
I've qualified for the Ironman World Championships by taking third place in my age group with able-bodied athletes before. They said that that was impossible. They said that no challenged athlete could ever do the Ultraman World Championships. We became the first male challenge athlete to finish the Ultraman World Championships.
Epic 5 was an event that I started back in 2009.
They said it was humanly impossible to do 5 Ironmans on 5 Hawaiian islands in 5 consecutive days. We're in our 4th year. They said no male triathlete could ever win an ESPY award. I was honored with the ESPY award by ESPN. There's only been a handful of athletes that have ran from San Francisco to New York under 72 days. We're in the top 5. If you have your mental game in check and you have a passion and drive, anything is possible.
Woo! I feel like running or something, right? Good morning. How are we all feeling? Can you believe it's over almost? Huh? Well, actually, I love that. It's just the beginning. Well, it's been awesome. I tell you, 7 years I've been coming here. It's my 3rd trip to Australia, and this was absolutely, by far, the best week I've ever had in Australia. So thank you. Thank you for being part of that. Thank you for your wonderful gesture yesterday. I mean, brought Marilyn back from the dead to sing for me. That was so appreciated. My wife took a dim view of it, but I think she's overcome that. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to kind of bring this to a close. But I really hope that this is not the end. This is really the beginning. But I feel like we have prepared you well for this new beginning. What do you think? Right? I'm really the warm-up act for your platinum, Mr. Rodney Gilchrist. So I'm going to kind of set it up so he can take it home, But I think we have some amazing things to look forward to. I really believe that in all the years that I've been with the company, which is about 7 years, I think Australia was like my baptism. But it was good. I'm still here and I'm still enjoying it and have had the best time in the world. I wouldn't change anything. I really, you go through things so that you get ready. Everything that you go through life gets you ready for really what God has in store for you, and you're just being polished. And I think that for me, coming from a 28-year from somewhere else and coming here, it was I had to go through that process. And I think each one of you here, you have to feel like what you've done the last 12, 15 years with this company has gotten you ready for this moment. And as I look in your eyes, this week has been really phenomenal. As I looked into your eyes, I could tell you were ready. I could tell that, it's like you got that eye of the tiger, right? A lot of you, all of you that I've known for a long time, it's been really, I don't know, it's just filled my heart with lots of joy and hope and optimism about the future for our company, our future for you, and I hope that we've prepared you pretty well for that. Now, I was introduced by this video, which some of you thought he was coming out, right? Just me, okay? But Jason Lester's been a man who's been really kind of an incredible addition to Mannatech because he really validates what we all love about this company, which is the product. This is a man who's been taking our product for 8 years. He was taking it in secret. He wouldn't tell anybody about it, not even us. We didn't even know that Jason Lester was taking our product until we got this order from Nike for hundreds of bottles of Ambertos and other things, and we wondered, like, for what? Who? If Nike calls you and says, I want 100 bottles of Ambertos, you wonder, right? What is that for? Because normally we don't sell it to another company anyways, but no, and then they started going into the fact that they had this athlete, and this athlete actually was, somehow was part of Team Mannatech, but we never kind of understood the connection. And that's when we came together and started understanding that for the last 8 years, this man has done some incredible things. Really, attributed a lot of it to our product. His own words was that, his biggest anxiety, literally, when he was going through America in 70 days, and imagine one marathon a day for 70 days, going across America, he said, my biggest anxiety was to get to the hotel and not find my products. Is that a big statement or what? I mean, he calls it his secret weapon. He said, I wouldn't tell anybody because I'm a competitor. I didn't want them to have the extra edge that I had, which is not a good thing when you're a company. You want people to promote your stuff. But eventually, as he's going into kind of a retirement now, I don't know if running the Wall of China is retirement. I'll tell you that. I mean, for me, it feels like you're starting something new, right? But the fact that he's actually, he's kind of coming into the end of his career professionally, and he felt like he needed to get this word to the world. That, folks, is a whole lot different than paying an athlete to hold your product. You guys get the difference? I mean, Ambro Bomb, which is something that he coined, is real for him. I mean, when he's running across America or when he runs across China, on the China Wall, he's going to be taking about a tub of Amber Toast a day. Okay, that's what he believes. So for us, this was a great way to kind of kick off our 20th year and to be able to validate on a world stage not only our product, but also our mission. Because, as you know, we're very passionate about M5M. And at first we thought this would be a great way, a great public relations move. Something that Mannatech has really not done that well over the years, but this was our way to come into a global stage and make M5M kind of a word, something that people would recognize. And he was also very passionate. Everything he's done has been about, helping others. Every one of his runs had some kind of a social cause attached to it. But he fell in love with M5M. As a matter of fact, to get ready for the run, 2 months ago, he was in Guatemala for a few days to actually go see the kids who will benefit from what he's doing. Our goal is that through this run, 50,000 children will be receiving nutrition for a year, which is a big deal. I mean, that's quite a big goal, and I think we'll achieve it, no problem. And so he really, he has this affinity with our mission, and he wears our M5M pretty proudly. It's going to be predominantly displayed on his jersey and other places. So from that point of view, it's going to be awesome. But I think the other piece was that he's also an ambassador of the product, so that's why the run is powered by Amber Toast. And I think I want you guys to understand that is something that you're going to see more and more, powered by Amber Toast, which I think for those of you who've been around a long time, if you just wondered, if you were concerned that Mannatech was moving away from the core, we're not. We're just getting smarter about how we're going to get this out to the rest of the world. And folks, this morning, how many of you, were you hearing about the 3-point plan for the first time? This was your first time? All right, great. Well, folks, now you know this is going to be our secret on how we're going to do what Manny was talking about, which is helping you be able to build leaders. This is a leadership development system. It is a system. Everything we've had along the way has been great tools and great ideas, great campaigns. This is the first time we're really locking into what we really believe is a system. And it's a system because it's been proven over the years, to work. And I don't mean just in Mannatech, but we mean all over the world. So I want to give Gary and Vincent a big hand, and I hope they hear and they can hear you, for taking the time to be here and sharing so generously. And I know all of you fell in love with not only the information, but their hearts as well. It was kind of fun watching them dancing last night. Australia has corrupted them. They're never going to be the same. I can see they're going to go back to South Africa. And Chris, you better be ready, man, because this is going to happen over there too. I could tell they're having a good time. And guys, thank you so much for being so hospitable, and you make it fun. Give yourself a hand. This thing ought to be fun. We look forward to coming and figuring out what they're going to dress us in, because we don't get to pick our clothes. But they've done well by me. I'm really appreciative. So M5M, Jason is going to run the Wall of China, the biggest, most monumental testament to what mankind can do. You guys realize that nothing bigger has ever been built. It's the only thing you can see from space is the Wall of China. Is that correct, right? My folks from Singapore say, I mean, this is pretty phenomenal. By the way, as we run this wall too, we're going to be honoring the wall. Because it's really, it's a testament to man's will. It's a testament to what people coming together can really do, and create. So he's going to be running this wall for 100 days. And this was the third part of this run that really became very clear to us, that the most important thing about this was not just that we're going to promote Amber Toast, not just that we're going to promote M5M, but we wanted to use this as a catalyst to drive this new culture. Does that make sense? Because, we all know we're creatures of habits. We are where we are today for the habits that we have, collected over the years, and in goods or bads. I mean, some of you, if you're in this room, if you're in the front, it's because you've had those kind of habits that have supported you in becoming extraordinary in Mannatech. And for the rest of you, you want to be extraordinary. You want to be in the front seats. You want to be the presidentials. You want to be the people who are changing the world. Well, you can't change the world until you change the man or the woman in the mirror. And we're hoping that through this 100 days, and by the application of the right, see, it's not the repetition. I mean, habits is not just, it's a repetition, or let me say, good habits is what we want a repetition of. They say practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, because you could practice all your life, but if you're practicing the wrong moves, right? If you are in the martial arts, right? If you're practicing the wrong move, you're going to get hurt. It's perfect practice that makes a difference. And today, what we're going to send you back home with is kind of a roadmap of what is perfect. What really are some of the key things distilled over 50 years? What are some of those key habits that when you do them, when you master them, then at the same time you will be able to change the course of your business. And I tell you what, you will change the course of your life. You know why? The way you do some things is the way you do everything. Just think about that. The way you do some things is the way you do everything. So if you start applying yourself, you start applying excellence in your business, it will show up in your life. If you do it in your life, it will show up in your business. So this is going to be great, because it's really going to be not just how do I become a better Mannatech associate. No, this is how I become a better person. And by becoming a better person, guess what? I'm going to attract, right, the right people into my life. Because you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. Some of you go, oops, you mean I attracted him? Yes, you did. Or her. Everything in life that you have right now, you attracted. You attracted because of a mindset that you have at the moment where that happens. So by changing that mindset, you're going to also change what you attract. And some of you are going to attract things that really are going to lead you to greatness. So before I go into the next thing, I thought it'd be important to maybe show you a little bit about what this Wall of China run is going to be, but then I'm going to come back and we're going to connect it to what you could do for the next 100 days that could absolutely change your Mannatech business, and I believe will change your life. So let's watch this, and that'll come right back, and then we'll go on.
I just ran across the United States what I thought was for Hurricane Sandy to get back to families that need some inspiration and hope. And God used it as a training day. And I thought, where do we go from here, God? And it was just like the most monumental structure built by mankind. Boom. The Great Wall of China. I get this email, and when I read that it said Mission 5 million, M5M, I lost it. The two favorite letters of my life, M and M, monumental. That's how the vision started coming about, where it started making sense that I was gonna go to the Great Wall of China and honor that wall, the most monumental structure built by mankind, and use it as a source of inspiration and platform. It wasn't gonna be about Jason Lester. It wasn't gonna be about some ultra endurance athlete. It wasn't gonna be about doing something that's humanly impossible. It was about using it as a wake-up call to the globe when I heard the numbers that over 5 million kids die each year the first thing that came to my mind is that is not acceptable. So I'm going to put my feet to action. I already know that I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until I reach the finish. And I'm asking you to commit to joining me in this mission. Why malnutrition? Because I was that kid. Underdog, humanly impossible, overlooked. Those are all things that I've had experience in my life. These children suffering from malnutrition are being overlooked, and I'm not going to let it happen. And that's why I'm going to the wall, and that's why I've dedicated myself 2,800 miles. That's why I've dedicated another 100 days of my life out of the year. It's my goal to reach 50,000 kids in 1 year. And I'm not going to stop, because it doesn't stop there. We have a goal of reaching 5 million kids. We're going to have a team. We're going to have a support system. We're not going to do it alone, and we need your help. Join me in fighting global malnutrition by going to m5mrun.com. Follow us on Instagram and follow us on Twitter.
All right. You think that might be inspiration when you wake up in the morning and you decide, gee, am I going to make my 3 phone calls or not? Am I going to add a name or not? I mean, Jason's going to run 26 miles, 30 miles. You're going to make 3 phone calls. Can you do that? Right? And we're all kind of hooked together on the same mission, right? But our mission to do this, what we do, he runs, and what we do is we build a team. We build an army, because that's how we're going to reach all these people. So let's kind of go through what are some of the things we're talking about. So first, step up to the challenge. All I'm going to say here is there's a website. It's called 100days. Whatever, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay? And we want you to go there and sign up on the wall. Pick your wall. What is your wall? See, for Jason, the wall is the wall of China, right? For him, his epic story is running that wall in 100 days. He's writing history for his life. What history are you going to write on those 100 days? Because I assure you, what you do for those 100 days will definitely have a full-on impact in thousands and maybe millions of lives. So what is your wall? So pick your wall, go to this website, and sign the wall. Decide what that is, okay? So that website is 100days.mannatech.com. And do me a favor, just humor me for my birthday. You know, this is my birthday gift. This is what I'm asking from you guys, okay? Just go in there. I want so many Aussies to go to this wall that my office goes nuts, okay? I mean, they don't know what hit them, right? I hope the server can hold it, because you guys are going to come in. It's going to be an onslaught. Call some people and tell them, share with them, because that's where it starts. You got to make that commitment. You got to make that decision. Everything is what? A decision away. When the intentions are clear, the mechanisms will appear. So make your intention clear. Go on the wall and say, this is my intention. Because the minute you put that intention into the universe, guess what happens? The universe will conspire for your success. But until you have that clarity of vision, guess what? Nothing happens. And then when you have that clarity of vision, it's like something supernatural takes on. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's just write that down, okay? So that's where the commitment starts. Get on automatic order, create your challenge goal. You can go through that. I think you'll probably have that on this. So I want to go through the stuff that's really critical. We created this tracker. And we created so that it would give you kind of that roadmap. We took, of all the things you heard this weekend, we took all of those things and we put into a list of action items. Because at the end of the day, nothing works until there is action. Faith is dead until there is action. But some of you want to know, what am I going to do? So right here, we put it right in here. Okay, from taking my product daily, can you do that? Yeah. That gets you a point. You're on your way. Okay? And then it says, add one new name to your personal list on a daily basis. Can you commit in those 100 days that you will not come home until you get that name, that new name on your list. Wives, he doesn't eat until he produces a name. And husbands, I'm being very nice because there could be a whole lot more things that could be put to this challenge. Okay? So we're just going to stick with food for now, right? But no food, no name, no food. How's that? Let's put some stake to this, right? Guys, how many of you think if you added 100 names to your list in the next 100 days that it would change your business? There's two reasons why people fail in our industry. Number one is because they run out of names. And number two, because they spend time with the wrong people. But number one is they run out of names. So I think all of us, and I think I love what we did and the staff did for you guys here, is because they put, Big Al here to teach you how to do what? Break the ice, learn how to say the very specific words that will help you open the way for a conversation. But make it fun, make it a game. But make it a thing where every day you're going to add a name on your list. Share and promote an item in your business. It could be a video, it could be an email, it could be a flyer, it could be something. But every day, make it a point that at the end of the night, when you get there and you're going to tally everything, that you have shared something of your business with somebody. We are in a promotion business. We are in an advertising business. That's what we do. Make 3 calls a day. Now, you get certain points for 1 call, more points for 2, and more points for 3 calls. 3 calls a day. Why? Because you're trying to set up an appointment. You're going to STP. Did you hear that word? STP. What does it stand for? Show the plan. Show the products. Right? Stuff your pocket. Oh, you didn't know that one, right? Okay. Give a presentation a day. A presentation a day. A presentation a day. 5 presentations a week. We give you Saturdays and Sundays off. Now, you could do it on Saturdays, still counts for 1. But guys, get in that habit. Now, at first, you may not get to 5 right away. But you know what? Start with 1 a week, then 2 a week, then 3 a week, and then eventually do 5 a week. Okay? Personal development, read 30 minutes a day and listen 30 minutes a day. Have you gotten that? Are you pretty clear on that? Was Vincent and Gary clear on the reading and listening every single day? Some of you, I don't know, I'm not getting the feedback. Did you get that? Do you think that's critical? To protect your enthusiasm, to protect your attitude, to put you in a position where you meet that next person, at your next presidential, that you're mentally prepared to have that conversation, that you're just in a right place to be able to attract that person to you. Yes, we got it? Now, this is what, I talked to Mandy and Chris and Betty. The office is going to put together a package of CDs that you're going to be able to access. Because we want you to really make it a commitment to listen on a daily basis. You won't believe what that will do in difference in 100 days. And after the 100 days, you're never going to go a day. It's going to be like you're going to be addicted to this thing. And how many of you think it would be good to be addicted to taking in good information every day? That's a good addiction. Because the other addiction is taking bad information every day. It's called the news. It's called the newspapers. It's called television. It's called all that stuff. Or television, whatever we call it. Because you know what? All that does is program you for what? Failure. Be in charge of the information that goes into your mind. And folks, participate in a leadership call, attend all the events, counsel with your upline, make those weekly phone calls, make those monthly sit-downs. And then the last one I have here is cultivate your dream in goals daily by reading your positive affirmation on this 100-day goal statement. So basically, when you decide what you want to do for 100 days, put it into a 3x5 card, read it. It's just amazing what can happen when you read these things, your goal every day. It helps you in that clarification of your intention. Your subconscious needs that clarification. The universe needs that clarification. You become like a laser-guided missile. I mean, you are straight to that goal. You are going to hit that goal, no question about it. You know why? Because you're doing all the things you need to really cut out all the noise. Folks, life is going to happen. Some of you, you're going to leave here today, and a life is going to happen. So you got to learn how to tune off the stuff and then keep focused on the things that are really going to serve you to change your life in the way that you want. Now, some of the folks here, some of your presidentials have already made a decision on their 100-day challenge goals. So let's roll a video and then let them share with you, and then we're going to close it out with Mr. Rod Gilchrist.
One of the things that we've been learning strongly over this weekend, and something we know, is what Zig Ziglar says, is you don't build businesses, you build people. Because as we build people, we're a relationship business. We're what I call relationship marketing. So take your minds off business and put your minds on people. You're trying to build people to build them up to become the next leaders. One of the things that helps people, if they want to grow as leaders, is to go to meetings, attend everything that's on, whether you are already one of the leaders, whether you're new. Go to your regional meetings, go to your weekend trainings, go to everything, because as you go, you learn, and you will learn even from the newest and youngest people. And the other thing that I've found, Rosal, is follow the system. Mannatech has such an amazing system. They have put everything together in one package. Follow the system. Don't try and go do your own thing. Follow the system. We use the Navigate system. Use something which works. So, to talk to people, make friends with them, build relationships, and follow the system.
Hi there, I hope you're enjoying today's event. It's absolutely fantastic. We've already heard some great speakers, which you'll be hearing as well today. They're from South Africa. They've come along with a revitalised 3-point plan that we used to use back 15 years ago, and it's absolutely fantastic. Mannatech is already and still will be the force of the future, especially when it comes to product, and now of course with the M5M promotion, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's providing this nutritional supplement to children, and that's, what can I say? It brings tears to my eyes that we can do that, and thanks to the company for doing that.
Hey, this is Simon Cryer, and I'm so excited to be calling Australia home again and locking arms with you guys to help you achieve your dreams, whether it's to make a difference, earn a lot of money, have a lot of fun, or do a lot of travel like we've just done over in the US for the last 4 years. And you know, we've just experienced an incredible event together. We had a lot of fun together, and we've learned a lot of stuff. And one of the cool things that I experienced when I was living in the US for the last 4 years was that I met a bunch of highly successful people, multi-millionaires. And one of the concepts that I learned was just take one thing. Just take one thing. I mean, this weekend, you and I have experienced a lot of information. We've seen a lot of excitement, and for good reason. The challenge is, what do we do now? So I would encourage you to take that one thing that you're going to implement tomorrow, this week, and go maximize that one thing. Go focus on that one thing and take great action, get results. I'm so excited for you being here and playing full out this weekend, and I can't wait to hear your story. God bless you, and thanks for having me back. See you soon.
You've seen so many exciting things this weekend, and Ken and I are very, very excited about this 3-point plan. We're very excited because it uses our building methods, and we feel that at long last we can get out there and really fire up our whole team. And I want to encourage you all to be part of this, this excitement, and come on board and really duplicate the things that we'll be doing in the future.
We focus on fortnightly information sessions held on Monday nights. Plus we have a Saturday training each month. Our leaders believe these events are pivotal to equip our team, to support them, to educate them with new ideas, new procedures, or any changes. It also gives team members the opportunity to invite their guests and any new team members that they may have. We already have a system that we follow, and now hearing all about the new 3-point system, we feel excited to be able to do some modifications and implement this. We must always be open to listen and learn.
Hello, my name's Maureen, and I represent Men Entrepreneurs, which is a Victorian group, and I just wanted to share with you that last Tuesday of every month we do a business presentation, which also includes the company and the products, and at the end of the evening we do a tasting with the Nutriverse and a bit of socialising, which was really good. All the groups are holding presentations at the moment, particularly on the youth, but there was also introducing all the other products as well, which is great, so we're getting some good results with that. And we're planning to have a full day training when we get back after ACON. We're also encouraging everybody to set goals by honing in on the new, whatever incentives Mannatech's offering, because I think that's a really good thing to do, because if they don't get the incentive, they've built their business, and if they do, they're having a lovely time.
Hello everybody, well it's been a fantastic ACON and I am just so excited for myself and my Freedom team going forward with what we're going to do with the 3-point plan. I'm just so grateful that these fabulous South Africans have come and shared this method with us. Our team's implementing it and I'm so looking forward to working with all the other PDs to make Australia rocket forward. So go forth and multiply.
Hey guys, this weekend we've all been empowered. We've been given tools, we've been given direction. We understand what we've got to do, but now it's up to you. You get to make the choice, along with me and along with all of the other leaders that you've heard from, the ones that you know that are mentoring you, a decision that will change your life as it's changed mine. But you know what? My journey's just begun. I want your journey to begin as well. What will it be like next year when you walk across stage and you receive this? When you walk across stage and someone says to you, congratulations, because you achieved your dreams. Let's do this, let's do it now.
All right, let's make a big hand to all your leaders. Awesome. And I know we are we're standing right there, right? At the beginning of a pretty amazing journey we're going to have together. And you know what? I couldn't think of a better person to help us close this event. This person has now become a friend of mine. It's somebody that I feel really that I have, we've built a trust and a bond and a confidence. We've had ups and downs, but he is, back at the office, I call him the genius. He's a man with incredible vision, incredible ideas. He's always thinking about ways to make this thing a better experience for us all. And he's absolutely committed, not just about his team, but he's really committed to bringing Mannatech to a next level. And really gives me a lot of pleasure to be the one who get to introduce my good friend, Platinum Presidential, Mr. Rod Gilchrist. Thank you, buddy.
Don't go just yet. Stay up here, Al. You guys can be seated. Al tells a story. Don't go yet. Don't go. Al, come back. Come back. Al tells a story. He alluded the other night to his first visit to Australia, where he was locked on a ship in the middle of Sydney Harbour with a bunch of hostile presidentials. And what he didn't say was he'd only just taken over his role in the company probably about a week.
I was still a consultant.
Still a consultant. So he didn't know anything. And so he walked into this ambush situation. And I can tell you that being on that ship in the middle of the Sydney Harbour, it was not the Love Boat. And I can tell you, there was no Captain Steubing. There was no Love Boat. There was no love on that boat. And I just want to say publicly, because I think it needs to be rectified, because while we're learning about unity, I think I just need to get this off my chest. I think it was me that got up at that time during that cruise and said on behalf of many of us that, that your predecessor performed in a completely underwhelming way and that you had small shoes to fill. And he didn't laugh then. He wasn't laughing then, I can tell you. He just gave me this glazed look like,
who are these
what
crazy
the
people?
heck can I jump overboard and swim to the shore?
I just hate sharks.
That's good. Horrible way to lose weight, trust me. But anyway, so I just like to say publicly that not only have you filled those small shoes, that you have performed overwhelmingly, and you've created Michael Jordan-style shoes. And I want to say how much we love you down under. You truly are a great friend, and we want to edify and honour you. And of course, this is his birthday today, and we sort of did a bit of a happy birthday before. I know last night Marilyn sang, so now I'm going to sing to you, because I know this is going to be the highlight.
It's going to be better, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot better. No, I'm not. But I just love Al Bala, and I was like, it's on the count of 1, 2, 3, just to yell out at the top of our lungs, happy birthday, Al, we love you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Al, we love you.
Thank you. Love you too. Thank you, buddy.
Bless you. He is a champion. You know, I've spent a lot of time over in the US the last 4 or 5 years working with Al and the corporate team. And there's probably only one other person in the room that's probably spent more time there, and that's Silver Presidential Simon Cryer. And so, you know, working with the US guys is brilliant. And I think I have a broader perspective of Mannatech and Mannatech's positioning, having spent time over there and knowing the guys and working with them, and also working here as well. But I also had the privilege of going to South Africa and working with the South African team. And it's pretty cool that I get to sort of close out today and bring a little bit of perspective to what we have to look forward to between here and our next ACON. So my first trip to South Africa wasn't with corporate. I went on my own to work to build a team and really struggled. And things didn't go so well. And then my second and third trip, I was invited to come and speak at the Super Regionals that they held in Johannesburg and in Cape Town. And so while we've learned a lot this weekend from Vincent and Gary, oh, and I love the way that Gary's name has changed over the weekend. Firstly, you know, that was like Gary Van, and everyone tried to say his last name, and nobody could, because we can't do the thing. We just don't, I don't know how you guys do it. None of us can do it. So he went from Gary Van A, and then he went to Gaza Van A. Gaza! I mean, gosh. And then, of course, they left Vincent alone, didn't they? You know? And so it's always been Vincent van der Linde, and I just think we should change his name to Vinnie. Vinnie. Yeah, Vinnie Van D. So, you know, hey, Vinnie Van D. Everyone say, Vinnie Van D, we love you. So they came as respectable South Africans, and now they're going home, particularly after last night, which we won't talk about. We will not mention it again. But they're going back as Aussies. We've Aussified them. Yeah, let's give them a hand. They've been absolutely brilliant. But I want to manage your expectations, and I want to give you some perspectives. You see, some things are taught, but most of what we get out of life that changes us, it's caught, right? So vision is caught more than taught. You can try to tell someone to be successful, but until they really own it, and it becomes part of their heart, and it becomes them, then, you know, at that point, it's just talk. They say talk is cheap. You know, and your walk talks louder than your talk talks, right? So a lot of people want to have their talk, so they do their talk, but their walk doesn't match their talk. People will say, I'm not interested in your talk, show me your walk. So once you walk, then they'll watch and they'll replicate what you do. So I've had the privilege of not only listening to the talk of the 3-point plan and how this works, I've had the value of being immersed in a group on 2 occasions, traveling over there, and to see what they call nuances. And I want to talk about those nuances. There are nuances. There are things that are subtleties, was another word that Vinny used. And subtleties. And I want you to understand that the system that they're talking about, the 3-point plan, and all that it entails, and I'm not going to go into the details because they've done that brilliantly, but I want you to understand that the system isn't just something that you can tackle from a point of, I'm going to do A, and I'm going to do B, and I'm going to do C. Also, I want to remind all of us that have been around for a while not to take this new information and try to process it with the old way that we think. We can't go into this and saying, well, that's how we used to do it. The reality is, folks, and I'm saying this with all humility because, you know, I am also a partaker of this. If we go into this saying, well, this is just a rehashed version of what we used to do, how come there's not 1,000 people in this room? How come they get 1,000 people to their super regionals? And they do it, and the same thing in Johannesburg, in Cape Town. It's not just about the structure, it's not just about the information, it's about the culture of what they achieve. And you can see their culture is already reflective on my life. Who would have thought that I would be up here not wearing a hat? I have many people to thank for that, in inverted commas. Betty being one. But, you know, you dress for success. And look, yeah, I get it. Reluctantly. But we have to change. It's the nuances. It's the subtleties. It's the culture of what the 3-point plan brings. It's about unity. And we can talk about unity. You can talk about unity all you like. You can talk about, we love this person, love that, beloved, yeah. It's about, do you really? And and culture is an important thing because culture defines so much about us. For instance, if I was to say African culture, we would all have an image of what the African culture would be. If I was to say Maori culture, we'd have an image of Maori culture. If I was to say culture of the American Indian, we would have, if I said Australian culture, of course, yeah. All right, so we saw that last night. But culture defines how you dress, what you celebrate, the songs that you sing, the foods that you eat, the way you party, the way you mourn. And so culture defines a lot of things. And I think this weekend, more than anything for me, has helped give us permission to adopt not just a system, but to adopt a new culture. Now, the culture that they have over there is one of edification. It's one of honoring one another, working as a team. It wasn't always that way, but that's what unity brought. And of course, we know, for those of you that know anything about the Bible, it says where there is unity, that is there at that place where you will see blessing. That's where you'll see growth. And so it's important for us to get into unity. But the first person to get into unity with is ourselves, where we make a decision about what we're going to be. And we're not going to get double-minded. We're going to say, I'm not only going to learn from this system, I am prepared to culturally adjust and adjust the way that I think and the things that I do. And I suppose culture can be defined in one word. Culture is defined in behavior. What you do will reflect what you believe. And so you can only really measure whether you have got the culture of the 3-point plan, where you are walking in unity, that you have worked on submission, and that you now have a confession and the power of your words. Because the power of your words is so important, as we understand that death and life is in the power of the tongue. And so you will either change, and the way that you'll change, and the way you'll measure your change, and the way you'll measure the change in your team, not so much by the things we see in Success Tracker as they told us. It's not just about GPV. It's not just about recruitment. It's about the health of an organization, the vitality of an organization, the vitality of your business based upon unity, submission, accountability, about people being surrendered, about people being hungry, about people being edifying of one another, encouraging of one another, endorsing one another, giving permission to one another to succeed, but also giving permission to their upline to speak into their life and for them to go in with their thick skin on and say, I've got my thick skin on. Tell me what I need to know, not what I want to know. These are the cultural nuances that it's going to take us a while to understand and grasp. So while we now have a DVD to go and watch, and while we'll soon have trainings to go and listen to, it's up to us to go and practice them. It's up to us to go and learn, and it's up to us to change the way we think, and therefore change what we do. And if we change the way we think, and therefore we change our behavior, therefore we have adopted a new culture, I guarantee you by this time next year, when we meet here at the Sheraton, we will fill this room just as they did. When I went to their first meetings, they were 2 years apart. Their first meetings had probably around this many people. And then 2 years later, I went back to do another tour, and their size had doubled. Now, I haven't been for 2 years, and for what I understand, it's doubled again. Did the system change? No. What changed was that the people adopted the culture of what they're doing, and so all these other nuances. And so I want you to be accountable, not just to the information, but accountable to acting out that information and personifying it and projecting it into the lives of others. Always be edifying, always be honoring, always have a good positive confession, always believe the best. If you're not believing the best, then you'll always end up with the worst. Always call those things that be not as though they are, or as they should be. Don't call those things that are as though they are. Don't call your stumpy leg. Don't call your little leg, your short leg, your small leg. Start to call your little leg, your stumpy leg, as Vinny said. Begin to call it your explosive leg. Begin to call it your growth leg. Begin to speak over somebody in your team that possibly hasn't been performing. Don't say, oh, well, they're just slack. Oh, they're just not getting it. They just don't work hard enough. How about you ring them up and you start to say to them, I believe you have potential to be the hardest working person in this team. I believe you have potential. How about giving them permission to believe in themselves again? A lot of us are already out before we've ever got in. I used to play professional sport, and I had the privilege, in inverted commas, of facing the late great Australian bowler Dennis Lillee. And while I was walking out onto the field to face Dennis Lillee in his prime, playing for Australia at that time as a 17-year-old boy, it was, for me, one of the most embarrassing moments, because back in those days, they made us wear whites. I wish I was an All Black wearing blacks that day, because it would have at least hidden some of the soiling that was happening in my shorts. So as I was walking out to face Dennis Lillee, I was out before I ever got in. I'm taking block, the umpire, I'm saying, middle please, and my knees are shaking. And that first ball, I'm telling you, it passed by my head so fast, it was like an Exocet missile. And Dennis had an X on my head, and he was disappointed he didn't hit me with the first delivery. But he had another shot with a second delivery, and fortunately, I played and missed that one. But his third delivery was a Yorker, and it bowled me out. I walked back to the pavilion, put my bat under my arm, took my gloves off, and I'm like, I'm alive, I'm alive. You see, I was out before I ever got in. I thought I was a failure, therefore I was a failure. Now, going back a little bit, this time last year at ACON, I've been a Platinum Presidential since 2002, won International Business Builder of the Year, blah, 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 blah. But for me, that was something that I did. And I didn't want to be remembered. I said this at the awards night after winning the Associate of the Year. I didn't want to be somebody that was remembered or talked about as someone who once did something. For all of the other presidential leaders in here, we had the brilliant time of spending with the guys the other day. For all of us, and I'm sure I speak for all of us, we do not want to be the ones that once did it, or maybe are still doing it. We want to be the ones that are breaking the records. We want to see growth in our teams. We want to see growth in every single person in this room. We want to see you succeed. We don't want you to get out before you get in. We want you to get in. And when you're in, we want you to go, and as Al was using baseball the other night, we want you to hit a home run. We want you to have success. But it's requiring you to get in the game. It's requiring you to say, okay, I am going to change. I'm going to have to change my behavior. I'm going to have to change my culture. I'm going to have to change what I think. The theme has been unstoppable, and we need to be unstoppable. One of my coaches when I was playing cricket, John Inverarity, who actually became an Australian selector, and I had Ian Brayshaw and Jim Hubble and Derek Randall from England, and there was a whole host of people that were speaking into my life. And I remember one session they told me I was a left-arm quick bowler, and they said to me, Rod, we're going to give you a piece of advice, never forget it. They said, when you're bowling and you've got a batsman at the other end, here's what we want you to do. Number one, we want you to do everything you can to bowl them out. I'm saying, yeah, I'll do that. And they said, and if you can't bowl them out, we then want you to take the ball and bounce them out, beam them out, knock them out if need be. So just put pressure on them, which is what Dennis Lillee did to me. And he said, if you can't bowl them out and you can't beam them out and bounce them out, then you put yourself in a position in the field when they hit the ball onto the ground, you pick that ball up and you run them out. But whatever it is, you make sure you get them out. I'm like, cool. And so I became this lethal weapon. I know, hard to believe, humble me, but a lethal weapon. But here's the thing. I became unstoppable. And then I thought about it over the last few years. When I began in this business, I was unstoppable. There was nothing that was a wall to me. There was nothing. I remember James and I, we would go on tour together. We would go travel around the country. We would do things. We were unstoppable. We were insatiable. And by the way, yesterday's session for me was probably one of the greatest highlights of my life. If you see James's session yesterday, just give him a hand. I was in tears. It was the most amazing thing. We've had the best times. We've had the best fun. It's been absolutely amazing. We were once, all of us, I look at Simon, I look at Chris, and, Daryl and Sharon Williams, there's others around here, and, the habits, I know with Karen, there's so many of us that we're friends with. We were once unstoppable. We were once insatiably hungry. And I think we have an opportunity to draw the line in the sand right here, right now, here at the Sheraton, at a brand new venue, a brand new time and season in the life of Mannatech, where the things in corporate are brilliant. We've got M5M, which is brilliant. We've got this run, which is going to be brilliant, which will propel us and make Amber Toast a household name. We have opportunity with the 3-point plan and all the supportive other materials that will come with that. We have a brilliant corporate team here in Australia, and we have an economy that's begging for us to come into it and invite them for the greatest opportunity in the world if we will take it. And so I want to encourage you in closing to not take this weekend and say, I'm going to try it for a business period. I'm going to give it a go for a month or two. Don't do that. When I went to last ACON, I made a bold declaration of what I was hoping to achieve between that ACON and this ACON. And while I didn't hit totally the goal that I set myself, I sufficiently succeeded to get the award that I did. But at least it was better than doing nothing and staying being someone that once did it. And I hope today, for all of you, you don't leave here with a mentality of, I did it once. You know, I did it. I was great back then. I would love for all of us this time next year to say, we were once great, but we are currently great. And we are doing great things. And those great things combined is doing an even greater thing as we change and save the lives of malnourished children all around the world together. Take the system. Listen to everything that they've showed you, and then begin to adapt it and adopt it. So adapt it into your life and adopt it into your life and into your businesses. And I guarantee you that we will, in the not too distant future, be seeing the results that they see. As they say, success leaves clues, and they've given us these clues. It's up to us now to follow those clues and make them our clues, make them ours, and train and teach the people around us. Now we know in team, they say in team, the football coaches all say, there's no I in team. There's no I in team. That's true, there's no I in team. But there is me in team. You think about it, me. I think the 3-point plan, if I was to summarize it into, I think something that's really, really valuable, is the 3-point plan empowers you to be a better me. And if you are a better me, then there is only 2 other words left in the word team, and that's the letter T and the word letter A, which is tar. So we have me and we have tar. And I've got to say, your team will say thank you for being a better me. Because when you become a better me, you become a better leader. And when you become a better me, you will become a me mentor. You can't mentor and teach what you don't know. So take the 3-point plan, become a better me, become a better mentor, get greater results, and prove to the world that you're not a has-been, you're not a once was. You are an up-and-coming rising star in Mannatech who is going to change the world, your world and the world at the same time. And I pray that this time next year, that this room will be busting at the seams with fired up people, and we too will have a line of regional directors all the way out the door as we're reproducing regional directors in our regional director factories, national directors in our national director factories, executive directors in our executive director factories, presidential directors in our presidential director factories, all the way through to our bronzes, silvers, golds, and platinums. And meanwhile, while we're changing our world, we're changing the world of these children. Well, I want to say on behalf of everybody, thank you to our corporate team. Let's give Mandy, our general managers, a champion of the team. They're brilliant. Betty and Stephen and Sinead, and the list goes on. Let's stand to our feet. Let's honor them. They put these conventions together for us. It is amazing. I got to say, we love the venue. It's brilliant. I'm told there's water somewhere down there. Didn't get to see it, but apparently there's some great water. Great beach. How many of you believe that you can leave here today and you can take what you've learned and you can at least double the size of your business in the next 30 days? All right. How many of you believe that you can leave here today, wherever you're at, regional director, national or above, how many of you believe you have a shot at being a presidential director by this time next year? Raise your hand in all honesty. You know, by raising your hand, you know what you're doing? You are giving yourself permission to succeed. You're making a bold declaration. Now what you need to do is you need to start having your confession what you say about yourself matching that. You get up every day and say, I'm a success. Today is a good day. If anything good's going to happen to anyone anywhere on planet Earth today, it's going to happen to me. I am a leader. I am changing the world. I'm going to go and influence the lives of others. Good things are going to come my way. Great things are going to happen in my world today. And I believe if we do that, we'll more than fill the venue. Well, with all of that said, go home and listen to those DVDs and begin the metamorphosis of your life, the metamorphosis of your culture. And we look forward to catching you all very soon. Safe travels. God bless you all. Goodbye.